Minnesota after that comeback?
I feel so much better after that kind of a comeback. That's what we talked about. I love that they showed that kind of fight, that kind of moxie. You come in and you say 5 touchdowns, and they come back and get it. I understand the connection they had on the road with the chain, putting the chain thing on. But when you get that right there at home, to come back and make and win that game, that goes far into that you can use that going into playoffs. I'm saying I was mentioning all them interceptions because I was trying to get my man Kirk Cousins back in this MVP race.
Come on.
When you making plays like that, you don't like that? You don't like that? You like that? You gotta like that. When you making plays like that and you're coming back like that, I gotta give my man Kirk Cousins some credit for making those plays, man. And if Patrick Mahomes brought a team back like that, we would be, I mean, showering praise and straight love all over him right now.
Why is Patrick Mahomes catching strays
I'm
this
just
morning?
a just man. I'm a just man. There's a difference between fair and just. Fair gives everybody the same thing. A just man like me gives you what you deserve, and Kirk Cousins deserves more right now. That's what this just man is saying.
Actually, you're selling yourself short. You actually are far more giving than that. You give people a lot of stuff they don't deserve. You know,
get out of here.
That's called grace.
No.
You know what?
Grace.
In the Bible, it talks on grace.
It's called
That's
grace.
a good thing.
It was a compliment.
It was a compliment.
I appreciate the grace.
I appreciate it. I thought you were trying to throw at my Cowboys.
Okay? It was a compliment. Let me say this. Let me say this. Dan, I'm going to lead a breakdown because you're exceptional at it and you know more football than me. It's not my thing. I'm a results kind of guy. You know, as a reporter, you go to the game and you cover results. And you let them give you, a breakdown of exactly what led to the outcome. So I'm going to do that here. I understand that the Minnesota Vikings had a comeback, and I get that.
Great comeback.
And it was a great comeback. And Patrick Peterson challenged them, and Kirk Cousins and Dalvin Cook and Justin Jefferson and those boys went out, and they did their thing. The NFL has existed for 102 years, and there has never been a comeback that epic. Now, you can sit up there and talk about the Vikings all you want to.
Right.
It hurts me. Jeff Saturday is a friend. He is a part of this network, even though he's not here anymore. He's not employed. Usually on Tuesdays, he'd be right here. When he got that job, regardless of what any trepidation and questions that people had, obviously pertaining to the Rooney Rule being ignored, the spirit of it, blah, 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 I still rooted for him. We got to call it like we see it. That was a disgrace. Jeff Saturday ain't going to be the head coach of this football team next season. Indianapolis won't allow it. The state of Indiana won't allow it. Matt Ryan, it's time to start talking about retirement because you just don't have it. You understand? You ain't recovered from the Patriots coming back from 25 down in the Super Bowl. You ain't been the same since, even though you put up decent numbers on a few occasions over the years. But you just ain't that dude anymore. But when you see an epic collapse like that, when you see a guy like DeForest Buckner, who probably is wishing that he was still in San Francisco, you understand what I'm saying, who could potentially be in the Super Bowl, the way that defense is looking. He was a part of that when them brothers went to the Super Bowl against Kansas City. When you look at a guy like Quentin Nelson, and the elite offensive lineman that he is, and your head is buried. When you look at other dudes like Blackman and others, and they're using words like embarrassment and disgraceful and stuff like this, there is no excuse for an NFL team to lose a 33-0 lead at halftime. If nothing else, running out the clock and just letting the clock run saves you. You understand what I'm saying? If nothing else. You understand? You might not have to score a point. You don't think about that. You don't have to score a point. Not one, not two, not three, but on 4 separate occasions, you have no obligation to score. All you have to do is potentially chew up the clock by getting a couple of first downs. And the game's yours. And you lost. Now, we can slice it any way we want to. But, again, if it were not for Jacoby Myers' play, if it were not for 3 games ending in a touchdown to end it all, we probably would have led today talking about that epic collapse against Minnesota. A 33-0 lead, I'm sorry. That cannot go unsaid.
I feel worse about the Vikings, even though the comeback happened. But I also don't have unnecessary belief and or expectation about the Vikings. Vikings are a good football team. But I know what they are. They still have pass protection issues that showed up with DeForest Buckner. I think defensively that you can get after them a little bit, and I think that the Colts showed that. That was more to me, to Stephen A's point, that the Colts kind of gave that game away with just unquestionable mistakes more than, oh my gosh, the Vikings are good enough to go knock off San Francisco, to go knock off the Philadelphia Eagles, to go knock off the Detroit Lions if they get in, to go knock off the Dallas Cowboys.
But they are.
All right.
They are good enough to beat them in a one-game series.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.